sure why. Ah, here it is. Here it is. I did not receive any emails. I am 22 minutes late. I know it's horrible to live with your mind all twisted. I was out today. I didn't want to be bothered, so I got these new glasses. What am I going to start with? I do anomalies and a whole bunch of other things. So this is one of the first things I'd like to look at on paper, and it's when you write the letter A. If I turn my camera this way, that looks like the letter D. But there's a lot of places that will create the A, and you'll see the A this way. That within the A, it's ironic that you will actually be seeing the E. But because of formation, okay, we only see a skeleton. So if I was to go out and then color this in, I wouldn't be the first one to do it. Because if I went online to the social networks and I go like this, show me the letter E. So I go up on here and I go to images. Let me just move this over. How you doing? How you doing, eh? How you doing? How you doing? Here you are. There you go. And here's the letter E. And here's the letter E. Let me see if you can see that E over here. See the way it's open and it's all filled in? Here's the E with a short arm. Here's the E with a equal arm. We're going to go with show me the letter D. So we're going to look at the letter D. So you can see that here's the D on the outside, but here's a D on the inside. Two dimensions, one within and one on the outside. Now we're going to look, we're going to go, and we're going to look at, let's see the letter A. So now we have the letter A, one of the letter A's, but I'm not sure about you, but if I turned it this way, let me see, hold on a second. To me, that's could be the D, it could be the 4. It looks like a right-sided. It's not right-sided, but when I turn the camera, okay, it looks like a right-sided angle. And also at the same time, if you look at the A, it looks like there's distance. There's distance within the A. It also looks like the D. We don't have it in this area over here. Where is the A? You can use it there, the fancy A. Every one of them is telling a different story. And within the A, right over here, the T, when you put two A's together back to back, it'll end up creating H and I. And can I use this A? Let me find another A. You're not giving me very many nice A's to work with. Hey, they don't have very many nice A's. Pretty funny, eh? They used to have a lot of nice A's, but now they don't. In the deck of cards, they use those, the A, what I call like the choo-choo train on the bottom right over here. So I'm going to copy image, go down to paint, and I'm going to paste it over here. Make my screen smaller so I can see. Let me get that a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to go ahead. This is not the one I wanted to use, but copy, flip, and then I bring it over here. And you now have the, let me get rid of this. Hold on a second. And now you got the I over here. So what the eye is showing you, and copy, paste, and then we have what the H is showing you. So if you take out a set of dice, you take out a dice cube over here. See that one center in the center over here? Well, if you flip it over, it's a 6. But this is where, see, if I was putting dots, and you can't separate dots any further than a certain distance, and we're going to create the 6 dots. So once I put a dot here in the center, because if I drilled through it, showing you light, this is the dark hole, we don't know what's going on. So I put that right here. So we can go like that. Now, can we go like this? I don't know if I should be doing that on this angle. I have to question myself. I'm not into that equation right now. I'm showing you this equation. So it's either like that or like that. So our first creation of H and I is through the house of Mars. And the reason in I'm into how to and style, but I'm also into entertainment. And the numeric value for Mars is 51. So if I should be able to do a piece of artwork with this, okay, I would have to see what is the smallest area that I can draw a 5 and a 1. Well, I can do 5, and I can't do 1 down the center. I can put 1 on this side. I can put 1 on this side. But in this one, I can put 1 through it. And this is going to show me what a percentage key is. If you look at the keyboard, right, and many, many, many times, hold on a second, we're going to go 9. And well, I didn't want to do 9 and 6 this way. I shouldn't enter into this, but this is the percentage sign. Here's a 9 on a 45-degree angle and a 6, because not only can we create it this way, but who says we're writing the right way? And the only way to create this one over here is putting it on a 45-degree angle. That 45-degree angle, and where can we find 45? We can find it right here. When you add up all 9 of these numbers, it equals to 45. When you divide it by 9, it equals to the average of 5 per number. That is the E world. Now, I call it Mars for more than one reason. Mars is the window. I can put the 1 through it. It shows up with the art. Earth is number 52. So if I was to revert to Roman numerals, it would be V1 and V11. The spirit of 76, matter and energy, Earth and Mars, 103, Mercury. September. It's funny and ironic because questions we always ask and things we mention is, how come we hear in French sept as in 7, but in the 9th month, also known as the 4th month? The 4th and the 9th, 4 and 9, Mars, Pluto. Saturn. I'm just looking at this. Mars, Pluto, 9876. Saturn, Mars, Pluto, Saturn on Mercury. Saturn and Mercury. The 4th planet going from first to last and last to first, questioning on whether you're going to start over here or not. In this instance, I don't use the 0. I still have to go over things on what 0 is. For instance, there is a piece that I look at off the phone pad, okay, where this star is actually this star, and this 0 is actually this 0 over here. And now when the pound key comes in, it's a completely different equation. Okay, if I was to do the same star, I would be doing 1, then I would be doing 2, 3, 4. And this would be this star over here through Earth, unless I created it the size that I need in order to create this perfectly. And that would be the minimum size to create that where the star is in the center would be here. And that would be Mars. And not only that, when you go to your keyboard, I'm going to be taking a 2-minute break, you see the star on number 8. So when you're saying Stargate, you're actually using the same key. And when you're using Stargate, okay, there's other things that go with this. We never use all 9. 9 is all we have. If we have a puzzle, right? If we have a puzzle, not all the pieces fit on the same piece of the puzzle. If you have 100 pieces of the puzzle, one piece will have maybe 4 around it, and the rest of the pieces are scattered through the puzzle, breaking down things. So I'm going to get something in the fridge. I want to talk again about the letter A, that if you actually take a look at all the letter A's, turn it sideways, it's the letter D, and it's broken up and made from 2 other letters. A is created from DC, and the house divides at DC, between the red and the blue, between Republican and Democrat, between demolition and repossession. These are the words that vibrate with me. They're poetic. They're a continuation of a word of democracy, democratic demolition. They just, the beginning of it. It's where we can go with demo. And then we have the demo tapes. And the science I do is really not a science. It's the science in the entertainment of the words in creation in every single letter. Because every single letter is no more than an octagon and hexagon. It's a line and a dot that's been brought together, that when you brought it together in a certain shape, it becomes and gets a name. That's what it is. It is like that. So the hexagon is actually bringing DC together. Mars and Earth is the hexagon. It is the cube. Now, I have to put, they say your money where your mouth is. Well, money is Mars. The dollar sign with the 1 line in between, and the dollar sign with the 2 lines in between, Earth and Mars. The 3rd and the 4th planet, now reflecting what is Uranus and Saturn. Uranus and Saturn, the 6th and the 7th planet, reverting what is the 3rd and the 4th planet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 8, 7, 3, 6, 4. 1, 2, 3, Earth. 3, Mars. 4. To where also that because Mars is number 51, it gets 1 line, 5 and 1, Roman numeral V1, 6, where Earth is 52, 5 and 2, 7. Mars seems like it is the creation of the 6-day week to the 1-day rest, to where Earth has a joint weekend between Saturn Day and between the Sun Day, Sun energy. At the same time, it's not just me, that when you bring 7 and 6 together, you're also bringing together through the Mayan calendar, to where they're running their clock or their gears. You see, I don't have all the answers. I just remember what I read, what I've looked at as with my due diligence to find out whether or not it's hocus pocus. But all in all, it is being spoken about, and you can check it out on your own. Everything that I do must be looked at by you, because I am not the last word. We are unity. We are one. We are life of one, which actually says life being V in French, V equaling to Roman numerals, equaling to 5, which is divided down the center in the V and represents Mars. The spirit passes in the house of Bait, Mars has been broken up to what I say Venus, Venus. The reason for that is on the 2 cube, which can also be seen on the calculator and understood on Rubik's cube, is that when you take away 2 dots, you have 7 dots left. To where this center dot, the 1 dot, area 55, is the division to 3 and 3, in which if you redesign this, it will look like it will look like we can do it. You see the way it has to be on an angle, right? I can't do it. Whoop, you can't even see it. Right, it has to be on this angle, and then we go ahead, right, and I'm going to do it on this angle. Sorry, I shouldn't have done it. Did it on this angle. So I'm going to need a block to come together, and in this creation, it would be the Mars creation. And if I did it and didn't, hold on a second, let me take out this. So now I created one here and one here, 3 and 3 with 1 to the center, and here's the creation of that house of bait. So when you cross off or you tie the keys together in the house of bait, right over here, it looks like a candy wrapper. So here is your empty space for 2, let's say. And then you have 3 areas, 1 area, and 3 areas. And there are some math equations that go with this. One equation that I like is 11 times 11 times 11 is 31. I also like that 31 and 13 and 31 equals to 75. You can look at 75%. And when you look at the percentage sign, right, it's actually drawn up like this. And it also looks like what is 6 and 9. And I call this the rotation of the sun. And the reason I call it the rotation of the sun is 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 equals to 9 equals to 6. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 plus 6 is 15, both representing Mars is 51 and the numeric value for sun and breath. You do know that in breath is earth in the house of bait. 9 times 6 is 54, creates what is the sun. I call it rotation because the design also shows me that there's a going in this way and a that way, this way and a that way, and it shows a rotation between down here and up here, going through here and through here, and you can also go down here. So this is what this piece of art shows me. Now, the 11, 11, 11, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to 1 equals to 2. If we looked at the 12th letter, right, it'd be the letter L. The 1 letter is the letter A. So in between A and A is L and L. And now can we pull something out of a hat and look at this one more time, or look at this one more time? We're going to count 9. We're going to count 9. We are going to remove the center 1. We are going to remove the center 1. We are going to, that this is on one side and the 6 is on the other. So we're going to understand that we do not see the center dot. We don't see it here. We're covering it up here, but we do see the other 8 that surround it, although 2 are empty. So with 6, with 1, there are 8. With 1, there are 8. 1 dot, 8 void. So we flip it over and we got the 6. So we have the 6 dot and the 7 void. There you're actually back to what 1/4 Mars is. 15 minutes of 60 seconds. Mars is that cap, the missing 40%, or whatever it takes, 50, whatever it takes for 60 times 60 times 60 what? 60, 60, 60 times 1.66. 60 times 1.66 equals 99.6. The 60 seconds into 100 seconds. Anyways, let me get back to this. So we have what we have here is 7 dot and 15. And right away, we have the game of pool and is the burgundy. Game of pool and the ball is the burgundy. 7 and 1 and 5, 6. Earth and Mars to the void. The 2 dot, okay, when we turn to the 2 dot, every face has 9. We have the 7 void. And in that void is the one spirit at the 7th gate. Because that one spirit at the 7th gate, here's that 1, here's the 8 totality. But when you come into the B house, right, it is with the void. And the void is 7, what comes from the void of 8. Do you follow? Does that make any sense? The 1 into the 2. And when you flip that over, 1 and 2 dot become the 6 and 5 dot. So 3 and 11. And when you go to that for TikTok, you also can look at it that this is the red ball in pool. The same time, the red ball in pool, right? So it's 3 and 11, both are red. So in creation of 11, this is the smallest gap to the first side. How can I say it? Through the 7th gate. 7 and 3 is 10, 1 gap. How do I explain this better? The minute you get to 4D, okay, it becomes the 12 ball. Now there's a polarity between 3 and 4, telling me that things split up starting at 11. In fact, it's 11 mathematically that will create 4. And let me show you on the cube, the 4 is the polarity to the 3. No magic. 4 and 3, 4 and 3, where 3 turns over to 4, where 4 turns over to 3. Give me a second. I'm going to go into the kitchen. I want to get something to drink. I have to just check a message. Okay, going to get that drink. If you have any questions, do not hesitate. I'd like to be able to fix this light a little bit. It's a little bit better. Look, how many TV screens do we have? Why do I see? I mean, what is it? Just because I have this? Is each eye seen individually? I mean, when you're looking now, what are you seeing? It looks really. Anyways, a friend of mine said to me, "Why do you have to dress up like that? Why do you have to do that?" The vibration makes you want to, feel good however you feel you look, piece of the equipment, the artwork. I hate that this does that. I just hate it. I have to find a new way to plug in I put my leg in the typewriter. Typewriter? Painted a table here. Oh, my tea. Oh, my tea. This is, oh, my God. It's going to be so good. I've got a story. Let me see. I had honey. I did. And I still do. Just 1 second, I messed up a piece of, I was painting something. Actually, I wasn't painting it. I was designing something on my table, and I don't like what I did. So I'm just trying to correct the. Just give me 1 minute, please. I'll be there in a minute. I'm coming back in a minute. Just gotta finish doing what I was doing. If I could. Just busy looking for something. When I find it, I'll be there. Just give me 1 more second. Shut off these lights. Tea is ready. Okay. Shut off this light. Okay. Put the tea down over here. Okay, Kat, you want to come out? Here you go. So you just came in. Very good for you. How do we turn that light off? Oh, I can't believe that's the light. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, let me just check on one of my channels. Said there's somebody watching, nobody talks, so knowledge is power, be ready for 2:30. Ribio tagged you. Okay, so where am I? Okay, here we are. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm being understood when nobody's speaking. So we talked about the letter A, how the A over here, for me, it's a division. A is a division. The house is split right over here. You can see 44 on one side and 44 on the other side, right over here. Well, I divided it more. In this instance, it becomes Earth, but it's divided over here. So if we're going to also divide it, we're also going to see this area here and then this area over here. So everything has to exist. Like when I do this work, everything has to be somewhere else. It just can't be what I draw up. It's got to come from somewhere. So let me see. We also have to understand that all the picture cards are mirrored. And when it comes to this design is found right here in the jack where it's separated. where you're going to have 1 and 1 brought together by 1. It's the same thing as a single division, right? We have a single division here. Here is the beginning. Here is the end. We're using 3 squares. Here we'll use 2 squares. And here we'll use 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. In the 3 squares, if we're going to split it up, you're going to find it here and here. So our division is going to be right here. Here's the halfway point between the two. The center, okay, is space between the two sides. When we come to this one, the center is an absolute. Here's the beginning, here's the side, here's a complete division, a fair center. When we come into this one over here, okay, this is 2, this is 4. Again, we're going to get a square center, 1 to this side and 1 to this side, and then these two houses join together as one. Can't join these here because it's the whole house. Here, it's only part of the house. A, B, C, and D, where we eliminate A and we work with B, C, D, 2, 3, and 4. It's hard to explain that we can't have the whole house. We can only have part of it. That's the number of cells that we're working in this equation. So there was your A. So when you're splitting your A, if you turn the A the other way, here is your D, and here is your C. And since we split the C, we now have CC. Now that we split the D, we have 2 Ds. That one D, okay, is now pointing in this direction, and the other D is pointing. We're going to have to give the cat a few num-nums. That's the first time I ever saw her put her head in the bag. Are you blind? Here. 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 Right here. Just 3. It's after your bedtime. Here. There you go. Okay. So we're going to get back to the letter A again. So we worked on CCAA, so we have CC and DD. Now, the word house, and I'm using very basic words, very basic, house planet, okay, is number 68. CDDC is 6 and 8. When I mix them up, C and D equals to G7. When you mix them up, 4 and 3. So now if you take a look and see if anybody else is following that rule, if I see 5 and 3 is 8 and 4 and 4 is 8, therefore 3 and 5 and 4 and 4 are in the same realm of numbers. And when you flip that over, it should say 6. 4 and 2 is 6. By the way, the numeric value for cat is 2 and 4. It is the 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, equaling to 6 and 8, the division of the 7th gate. And when you use the 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, you're actually talking about number 3 to the 7th gate, because that's the missing number between the two. The multiplier, somehow it becomes. So I don't need to convince anybody. I just like to know if I'm on the same path. So here is 5 and 1, 6, right? The F house. And the 15th letter is the O house. So we have 1 and 5, 6. So that means, since this is the house of the 7th gate, if we have 1 and 5, 6, we have 8 void and 4 void. We have 4 and 8 void. This equals to 12. It says female, female, the 12th year, the butts. My cat's dropping everything on the floor. Deep. Did the cat go and eat everything? Yeah, I think she did. Okay. Um, yeah, so this letter is the 15th letter over here. So we flip this over and we end up with, here we end up with 3 and 3. Here we end up with 4 and 2. And on 1 and 5, we end up with 6 and 2. The queen's at gate. So in the house of bait, when you bring the light, you bring it to the queen. Why? The numeric value of the queen is 62. But there's more than that because, and I can't spread myself too thin, but it's 5 letters equaling to 62. The reverse alphabet is 27, equaling to 135. The leftover is 73. The leftover is 73. And 7 and 6 is 13. And this would be the dividing alphabet. 5 letters divides the alphabet. The reason for that is the 13th and 14th letter divide the alphabet. The 0.5 means it's the center of 2. The letter M and N, and I look at it as moon. 13 is the letter M. 5 is the letter E, matter and energy, Mars and Earth. I'm spreading myself thin. There was still an equation I didn't finish over here, which was 13 and 31 and 13 equaling to 57. So nobody really, I mean, I can go deeper into this, but let me finish this piece over here so we can see 6 and 2, 8 is 5 and 1, 6 to 4 and 2, 6 to 5 and 3, 8 to 3 and 3, 6 to 4 and 4, 8. So if we add up all the 8 numbers, it's going to equal to 24. We add up all the 6s, it equals to 18. So you have RX, XR, XR. So anyways, I want to go back down to, just give me a second. Boy, I'm spreading myself thin, right? Yes, we were over here. So the 24th letter for 6, right? The 24th letter for 6. Too much mumbo jumbo. Is the 24th letter, if we want to put it this way, and it's X. It says fox. And the reverse of fox, okay, is U. The reverse of O is L. And the reverse of this is C. 333 to what is 666. So when you're seeing 333, you're seeing 666. They're reverse alphabet. So it's a clue fox or a lucky fox, if you want to look at it. The angels come in with this one. So in the second equation, okay, it's going to be a 7 and a 5 void. That's going to be talking about the moon. X will be talking about your moon. Your 1-5 Mars, okay, is going to be talking about the cube, the ring, the pole from Pluto, the sun, to buy and to sell. Those are their numeric, and they are their opposites, because ring is number 80 is 48, pole is number 48, buy and sell is 48, Pluto is 84. They do create the 12, and so does 7 and 5 create the 12. The only other 12 missing is 66, and then there's the passage within 8. 88 to 66, and 88 is purple, and 88 is Pegasus. And when you play Monopoly and you think you're going around to the house of 40, it's actually 88 and 81 equaling to 169, or 13 by 13. 1 and 3, 4, 1 and 3, 4. You multiply it, it equals to 3 and 3. You add it, okay, like here, let me do it. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 equals to 3 and 4. So you're getting both Mars and Earth coming together, and 13 is the bar mitzvah. But when you were talking about 13 as the bar mitzvah, okay, it's actually the 14th year. So when you're talking about the bat mitzvah in the 12th year, at the bat mitzvah, that is actually the 13th year. So what you're actually doing is the female brings on the M to where the male brings on the N, and they divide up the alphabet, okay, between actually what is the 9 birth in male, 14, to what is the seventh gate, which is 13. The 14th letter and the 13th letter, 1 times 3, 1 plus 3, 3 and 4 equaling to 7. And here, the 14th letter and the polarity is 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 is 5 and 4 equaling to 9. And you do know that the 7 and the 9 on your phone, they have removed the Q and the Z and they put it on number 1. And believe it or not, the numeric value is DC. And the total of each one is Q17 and Z26, creating 88, house of the seventh gate. Just want to check one of my channels for a second. Wow. Okay, so where am I now? Okay. Um, okay. So, oh, man, there's so many things going on. And how does it show that there's one person watching? Let me see. I'm just trying to look for something. Local setup. Okay, let me see this. Is this working? Okay. So we did the number system to 4 and 9. Now the thing I wanted to mention, when we reverted and we went from 1 and 6 7 to 4 and 9 13, one is the lower house, is above. The Mayan run their cycle as 7 and 13 equaling to 20. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. No apologies. I've just wanted to know if I'm coming across okay, if it's being understood. I see my connections were really strong today. And that letter, that ace letter, when they call that ace 11, it's because one is a divider, and also in the word David and God, they're all dividing words. I can't explain it. What happens is within 4 of 7 days, the fourth day, Wednesday, will split up the 7 days to 313, which is the cycle of the cube, to where everybody thinks the first day is Sunday or the last day is Saturday. The actual division of all days is Wednesday, and in Spanish they call it miraculous. The fourth day is actually the third day of the work week, in which Earth runs by 5 and 2, to whereas creation of the day of rest runs at 6 and 1. So when we think we should be resting on Saturday, is it where we're, when you take a piece of clothing and or material and you pick it up for the center and you put it over your head, you take it off your head. It's like if you cover a ghost up. Anyways, one for me is a divider. They also use it in blackjack. Okay, where they say ace 11 and you can only have one of them, to where the ace 11 is created by Mars, 1 times 5, 1 plus 5, or the quarter Mars, where we run by the quarter time, meaning that 15 seconds is 1/4. But the reverse 51 is what the numeric value to Mars is, in which the inverted value to Mars, forget about the word, is numeric value 57, talking about the 12 is the last year. Okay, 12 is the last year, the 156 moons passing in which you were a child, female, to where in Earth, and to where that begins, instead of 156 moons passing, okay, moons pass, you have the Bat's Mitzvah, that on the 157th moon, you are in the first moon being a woman. The 28 days or the 29 days, whatever that is. 157 is, first of all, we already talked about this, the 15 and the 7 ball coming together. That would be the game of pool, the burgundy ball. Secondly, 5 and 7 relate to the moon. 7 and 1 relate to the gate. 5 and 1 relate to Mars. 17 also, when it comes together, relates to both the queen and the king, and the Q letter on standing on 17 is in North America usually coming in with the U letter, which is 21, and that is blackjack. Where was blackjack? Where did it first come out? 21 represents the cube, which also connects to represent with the sun, because one cube has 33 voided dots and 21 dots equaling to 54. Sun, breath. When you do two of them, you have 66 and 42. 66 and 42. You bar the 66 in a game. 6 and 6, 12. Backgammon works, but 6 and 6, and I'm not going through all the games to see what their, can I say, anomalies are? The cusp of the revolution, re-evolution. So if we're going to talk revolution, we're going to talk Red Republic, we're going to talk dilution, evolution, things that turn, things that change. I also wanted to get in and not to forget, what I'm doing right now, I can't forget 3 and 4 in different ways that DC seems to separate the halfway point to everything, where it comes from, what it is, whether it's using 26 letters in the alphabet or 9 numbers in the number system, whether you're using the Hebrew alphabet, everything has their own story to it. So we were just talking now, cusp. Cusp reminds me of bees. I don't know why, honeycombs. So yes, we were talking. Let me finish with this piece. I interrupted myself. So we have the 157th, but for the male, it's the 170th for the male, and that's where Q and J comes in, because the reverse of the 17th letter Q is 10J. 10J is the mirror in the gate. 3 numbers is Earth, 2 numbers is Mars. Well, it's actually Venus, but I just reverted to Mars. Should I be doing that? Like the real window, should it be Venus and then Mars? Is it Venus 22? Let me go 2, 4, 6. And Mars is what? This is the second time I got this number. And Mars 36. 36 and 4 is 40. 4, 4, 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 12, 12, 12, 36 total. Earth, you know, is going to show me it's a half-life. It's a single element. See the difference? One single element. So this is going to go in here 36 times. The sun also is 2 letters. The sun, you see, this would be 2-letter reverse, right? But it's the same letters. I'm not sure what I should do with that right now. The reason I'm saying this is because 3 times 6, 18. 3 plus 6, 09. R and I. It's the only house with 2 letters. So we have the dimension of what is known as 4 Mars. I always use this as Mars, but it splits it the same way Mars does Venus. But we have Venus, Venus overlapping each other. We have 2 of them. We have the house of the aigu and the house of the grave. We have 2 dice cubes. If one is this way, the other might be this way. And then we possibly can get one this way. And then we'll put the other one this way. Each one will create its own design. You see, this is more or less the diamond shape over here. And here's your division. 4 cubes to make that division. Now, if it was 3 cubes for Earth, I don't know. I'm not prepared. I didn't set up right now to do it. But in Earth, when it's 3 cubes, we need that 4th cube to have the heart working, right? We need to make the heart work. So we bring the heart to work. And then we fill it in with that right there. And this is the house of bait. So if the house of bait had to be one face and it had to look like this, it would use 6 times 6, 36, and then 12 not. 6 sides times 6, 36, and 12 not. 36 and 12. 6 times 6, 6 plus 6 equals to 36, equals to 12, equals to 48. We're back into Pluto to buy and to sell the cube. Now, when you do it twice, it becomes 96, 96, 87, 15 and 15 in tennis. In rotation of the sun, there's the Stargate, and Pluto is inside of here, and the ring and the pole, the spin of the cubes. I'm not sure of one item. I have a scenario that I'd like to put in is don't forget that we become the extra cube. Our life becomes the extra cube. So there's 3 cubes and then the mirror, which is our life within the world that surrounds us. Whichever way I have to look for a way to explain that a little bit better. Eventually, if I think of something, I can make it come to fruition in one way or another. The last thing I want to mention that I'm going to bring out in a short video before I go, just keep it short. So we did do the male and we did the female. So the new number, the old number is 156 and 169. 6, 2, 2, 2, 2, 6, 2, 2, 6, 6 and 9, 15, 1 and 5, 6, 5 and 6, 11, 1 and 1 is 2, 1 and 1 is 2. 6 and 5, 9 is 15, carry to 1, 6 and 6 is 12, and 1, 325. Not sure what to do with that. The new number, okay, is 327. This is the beginning between the two. 327, 81 Venus. This is the beginning that when the female, she goes into a new set of a new year. She goes into her 13th year because you're a child up to the age of 12. It's when you're reach the age of 12, right? Let me say this again. Hold on a second. That when you reach the age of 12, it means the 12 years have ended. They reach the age of 13, the 13 years have ended. So we have 156
to 169, starting at 157. 9 and 7, 16, it becomes 7. 9, 15, 16 becomes 7. 7, 5, 12, 13 becomes 4. The female becomes the Jesus of time. The male at 169, running into 182. So 9 and 6, 15, 16 becomes 7. 2, 8, 10, 11 becomes 2. So man becomes the gate in the spirit of time energy. Female. Man works in 27, female works time in 47 in this equation. But it's not just 169, okay? It's 9 and 6, 15. It becomes first 6. 6 and 1, 9 and 6, 9 and 1. The spirit is within. But we have the moon showing up over here. So it's the 157th to the 169th. 7, 2, 2. This is 722, 227, 227, 227. What did I do? I added up the first and the last. So anyways, tired right now. I want to thank you for watching. Those who are here, thank you, Missy. If you're still up west, then peace, love, and yeah, I'd like to say that I'd like to get out to somewhere. I'd just like to disappear and do some work from somewhere else, some Miko village, just sit down there, meditate, and take this thing to another level. I think that there's many things I think about this world that I'm not going to mention, but we're going to make it. It's going to become a better place. And they're the laws of creation for the children that were born. For what reason was to be that a leaf should blow in the wind, and let it land where it lands, and let it be safe. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I just want to hear the right music, the dance, the beacon. It is the beacon. The word deacon or dance is what the Zodiac is doing. How we're capable of coming into these bodies, into our soul, living in the soul with the spirit connect from beyond. To know that there is more, it is so mighty and powerful that we should all go to the retreats where we all think the same way, so we can expand our energy from within and push back all that is lived backwards. Liveviel.